We start on Isaiah 13:20.
Yes,
Okay. I got it right.
you did.
All right. It tells me wrong. Okay. Um, Isaiah 13:20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. After the fall of Babylon under the Persians, it was inhabited, even by Alexander, and subsequently even into the current period. Isaiah 13:21-22. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall be dwelt there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Isaiah 14. For the Lord would have mercy on Jacob, and would yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave into to the house of Jacob. It is also important to note that this judgment on Babylon will take place at a time when Israel is resettled in their own land from many nations. This cannot be applied to the fall of Babylon to the Persians, during which Israel was still in captivity and in exile from the land. Isaiah 14:12. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from the sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how had the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and not endureth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come against us. Hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. He had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which is weaken the nations? This is a familiar passage about the origins and ambitions of Satan. Oh, I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yep. It's like a
I
lot of things they talking in it, but it's giving you another going off in another direction, but giving you the information that you need.
right. Isaiah 14:13-23. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yeah, that's not about Satan.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep. Yep, boy, there it is. There's the I. It would never ceases to amaze me as a created being is gonna try and usurp God who created
I
him. It's
know.
like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. The nice, it's like, Ugh, it's like, where did
Well,
you get that thought?
well, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house to the prisoners, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, they go down to the stone of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, said the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction with the Lord of hosts. Clearly, this is part of God's climatic snap, is part of the day of the Lord, and is part of the final scenes at the end of the 70th week of Daniel 9, highlighted in Matthew 24 and Revelation 6 through 19. Isaiah 14:24 to 32. The Lord of hosts had sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts had purpose, and who shall disannul it?
Just annul, like an annulment.
Disannul it. And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestine, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. How, O gate, cry, O city, thou, whole Palestine, art dissolved, for, for there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one of them answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord had found a sign, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. How did Isaiah know it will be renamed by the Romans to Palestine? Jeremiah 50, 1-4. The word, the word that the Lord spoke against Babylon and against the land of the children of the Chaldeans. Oh, because I'm going to take over, my throat's getting better.
I'll do it. Go get yourself a glass of water.
Yeah.
Okay. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast, In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their God. Does the nation from the north refer to Magog or the Russians? And again, the spiritual position of Israel is described. Jeremiah 55 through 9. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray, who have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Arrow, kayaks, literally shot from engine of war or shot from a bow by hand. LXX. No, it's not. That's not 70. Yeah, it is. 50 and 20, 70. Noun, nominative, feminine, singular, common. A missile or anything thrown, such as an arrow or javelin, as of a mighty expert. Oh, 70?
Hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe that's not how
Yeah,
that.
don't. Yeah, that's whatever it is. It's Arabic
Right,
or Hebrew.
right. All right. As of a mighty expert, sakal. To be prudent, be circumspect, wisely understand, prosper. It is talking about the arrow, hyphil, participle, masculine, singular, absolute. To have insight, to give attention, to consider, ponder, be prudent. The arrow, to have comprehension. The arrow is a smart arrow.
That's amazing how we have smart stuff now,
Yeah.
and it's talking about it thousands of years ago. That's
Gosh.
crazy.
Smart arrow. That's dangerous. Smart. Well, like today's missile.
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
exactly
literally.
the laser and then everything. It's all programmed.
Right.
So
So that could be a giant smart arrow.
positively.
How they're built. Okay. LLX. The Greek translation is intelligent, possessing, understanding. Oh, the talk, I guess. NAS. Their arrows will be like an expert warrior who does not return empty handed. Yeah, the missiles go exactly where they
Right,
go.
exactly where they want. Yep.
NIV. Their arrows will be like skilled warriors who do not return empty handed. The intelligence is in the arrow. They can't miss, i.e., smart weapons, missiles, bombs. There it is.
There it is, right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Jeremiah 50, 10 through 12. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bull. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Again, the absence of subsequent habitation marks this event as yet future from time now. That's true.
Yep. Well, not desolate
Things
yet.
have not happened yet.
Nope.
Jeremiah 50,
Would
13
that would be crazy if our generation would see it.
would be the ones to see this.
Yeah. Very
We read this.
possible. Very
Was
possible.
predicted over 2,000 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
waiting for it to happen.
Lord help us. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are falling, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sour from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own. Again, the period of time is the day of vengeance of God, a time of climax described throughout the scripture and yet future. Jeremiah 50, 17 through 20. Israel is a scattered sheep. Her lions have driven him away. First, the king of Syria had devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria, and I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve. That's right. Jerusalem and Israel, they're not go through all of this.
Mm-mm.
The Lord is going to keep them.
That's right.
The repeated references to the forgiveness of Israel imply a time that is after the New Testament period alluded to in Romans 11:25. It certainly cannot be applied to Israel at the time of her return from the Babylonian captivity. Zechariah 12:10, 13. Jeremiah 50:21-40. Go up against the land of Merak, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord God of hosts. in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for in their day is come the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our God, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. Camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off. In that day, saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Therefore, the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more in forever. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. A repeated comparison to the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, which has never yet happened to Babylon.
Wow.
Oh,
Just gonna
Wow.
be gonna be just a wasteland.
Wow.
yeah. Babylon is asking for it.
Yep.
Who's Babylon exactly? Is that it? That's not Israel, is it?
What?
No.
Babylon?
Yeah.
No, Babylon is the like the where the all the things that were against God and in that city with it. They're actually below. I think it's in Egypt somewhere in Babylon, but it's below Israel. It's a whole different area.
Right. But it is the real city.
Yes,
That's why I was
it
wondering.
is a real city, and Saddam Hussein was trying to redo it. So it's in Iraq. Is that Iraq?
Yeah, it's probably Iraq or Iran, one of the other.
Whatever one was Saddam Hussein, that's where it is. So I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't remember which one he was.
Iraq.
Okay.
Iraq.
Well, then it's Iraq.
Yeah.
So and eventually it's going to be called Babylon again, whatever it is, because that's
Right.
it's gonna be brought back in.
Mm.
50, 41 through 42. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. The voice will roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. This describes a multinational force, not just the Persians. Consider from the north, look at a map, and I think like Afghanistan and all those stand countries,
Yeah.
they're all in the north,
Right.
and Russia, and mostly Russia.
Yep.
Okay. Jeremiah 50, 43 to 46. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and the pain as of a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is the chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, and he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Oh my gosh, it's almost a little bit like Russia and Ukraine.
Right.
Ukraine
Right.
cries and all
Yeah.
the nations here.
Yeah.
You're right.
Boy,
Help.
you could sure make a parallel between it.
Right.
Wow.
Jeremiah 51, 1 through 2. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through her in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of God, but of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. He will not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is certainly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. A reading of the language clearly links this with Revelation 17 and 18. Jeremiah 51, 9 through 26. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to God. The Lord hath brought forth has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrow, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and fear of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, Surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasure. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and my of war, for with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee I will break into pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also I will break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces captains and rulers, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth. I will stretch out mine hand upon thee and roll down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Oh my goodness.
Nobody's gonna take nothing from there.
Nothing,
It's just
nothing.
gonna
It
be
won't have that cornerstone of Jesus.
no, that's right.
Right. But old and young and the husband and the maid, those are the single people,
Yeah.
teenagers.
It's like
Right?
everything, everybody.
Everybody.
Wow.
Again, a reference to the non-reuse of remaining materials. When Robert Caldaway arrived in Babylon in the late 1800s, he found entire sections of the old city being mined for bricks. Ooh. Caldaway, page 168. This will not be the case with the doom of Babylon.
It's probably
Wow.
gonna be radioactive. That's what I'm thinking. To be that
I mean,
desolate where nobody can get nothing from it.
Wow.
absolutely nothing. That's a good thought. You know that
Because
something
everything's
like
gonna
an
be
atomic
totally
bomb,
destroyed. Yeah, everything's gonna be totally destroyed, and you
utterly,
can't
utterly.
never and you can never be inhabited. Um, We're gonna stop here because it's almost 8. So we'll be at 82. We'll go to Jeremiah 51, 27 to 46. And so, oh, I also wanted to say, Buzz said to let y'all know that he had a praise report that after we prayed for his breathing, that he the next day he said he breathed so good that he couldn't even believe he was breathing so good.
Oh,
So and he said, make sure I told everybody thank you for the prayers that God
Oh.
answered. So he was so happy.
that is that's awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, now about Saturday. Outside.
Saturday is for 1, as long as the weather's not like icy and stuff. But I don't think it will be that.
Okay.
So 1 o'clock. I'm gonna send everybody text and a email. And if you
Okay.
want to bring somebody else, bring them. Just let me know so I can let them know how many people are coming. Cause Vanessa has a friend she wants to bring, and then I invited Anna, cause her son is in Austin. So if you want to bring somebody, bring somebody. We want Carla to come.
Carla's going to be in Shreveport at her son Brian's.
Oh, right.
She was sick for Christmas, so she's going.
Okay, we'll forgive her.
Yeah.
But I do miss my Carla.
I know, she misses y'all too.
Oh. All right, so that'll be the 20 on the 3rd, right? In that 3rd next week.
The 31st.
The second.
No. I'm not talking about Saturday. I'm talking about Tuesday.
This is the 3rd.
Yeah, it will be the third.
It'll be
January 3rd.
It'll be January 3rd.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So that all right. So January 3rd, Jeremiah, and Saturday, be there or be square at Yeager's at 1.
Were we meeting at Jager's?
Yes, Yeager's, right there on Clearview, right there.
All right.
Going towards the bridge on the left.
Blowers, but whistles and blowers.
I'm looking forward to
Get
it.
here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'll try to be there earlier just to make sure we got enough spots for us.
Okay.
I'm excited. I
I am
can't wait.
Have a great weekend, till we see you guys.
Yes.
Love
We'll see you
y'all.
on Saturday.
Rest of the week. Bye.
Love
Good night.
you.
God bless.
Good night.